Suddenly your best friend is asking why you're being so harsh on someone you haven't even discussed with them. You didn't lose an argument, you lost it before it started. Most people believe this is just gossip, or a mutual friend forming their own honest opinion. But in advanced behavioral psychology, we know that when third parties start pressuring you on behalf of someone else, without ever hearing your side, that is rarely an accident. It's called deploying flying monkeys, and today you are going to learn exactly how this recruitment works, why it's so effective at isolating you, and the precise method to shut it down without losing the friends caught in the middle. The term comes from the Wizard of Oz, the winged creatures who do the witch's bidding without ever questioning her directly. In psychological terms, a flying monkey is anyone recruited, consciously or not, to carry out pressure, guilt, or discrediting on a manipulator's behalf, so the manipulator never has to face you directly and never has to own the confrontation themselves. This is the core function. It outsources the conflict to someone who has a real, genuine relationship with you, which makes the pressure land far harder than if it came from the manipulator alone. Here is how the recruitment actually happens. It rarely looks like an obvious request. It looks like a one-sided story, delivered calmly, often with real tears or real distress attached. The manipulator approaches a mutual friend first, before you have any chance to give your own account, and frames the situation carefully. They emphasize their own hurt, minimize or omit their own role entirely, and paint you as unreasonable, harsh, or unstable. The mutual friend isn't lying when they later confront you. They genuinely believe the story. That's what makes this so effective. The flying monkey isn't a co-conspirator. They're a sincerely misinformed messenger, which means your anger at them, however understandable, is aimed at the wrong target. Notice the specific signs that separate this from an honest friend simply forming their own opinion. A flying monkey encounter usually arrives with urgency, pressuring you to resolve things quickly, before you've had time to think. It usually centers the manipulator's emotional state as the primary concern, while your side of events gets treated as a footnote, if it's mentioned at all. And it almost always includes some version of, "I'm just trying to help," delivered with genuine, well-meaning discomfort, because the messenger has no idea they're relaying a curated version of events rather than a complete one. This tactic is so effective for one specific reason. It multiplies the manipulator's reach without multiplying their exposure. If they confronted you directly and got the facts wrong, you could correct them immediately, in real time. But when the confrontation arrives secondhand, through someone you trust and love, the story has already hardened by the time it reaches you, and correcting it means either contradicting a friend you don't want to fight with or explaining an entire situation from scratch to someone who's already been primed to see you as the problem. Here is the exact method to disarm this without losing the friend caught in the crossfire, and it works in 2 phases. Phase number 1 is the redirect to source. When a mutual friend raises a concern on the manipulator's behalf, do not defend yourself point by point in that conversation. Instead, calmly redirect them back to the actual disagreement. "This is between me and them. I'd rather talk to them directly about it than relitigate it through you." This does 2 things at once. It refuses to let the triangle do its job, and it signals respect for the friendship, since you're not asking them to pick a side or serve as your representative either. Phase number 2 is the gentle correction, offered once. If the friend seems genuinely receptive, rather than simply relaying a message, you can calmly offer your side, one time, without pressure or repetition. "I want you to have the full picture, not to convince you of anything. Here's what actually happened on my end." Then let it rest completely. Repeating your version, defending it aggressively, or demanding they choose a side recreates the exact dynamic you're trying to escape, just with the roles reversed. Understand what this method protects. It is not designed to win the friend back to your side immediately. It is designed to stop you from becoming the manipulator's unpaid defense attorney in every room you're not in, while still leaving the door open for a friend who was simply misled rather than actively working against you. Over time, friends who are capable of holding complexity will usually notice the pattern themselves, especially once they see you consistently declining to fight proxy battles. The next time someone you trust arrives carrying someone else's grievance about you, do not perform your defense for an audience that was never meant to be the judge. Redirect to the actual source. Offer your side once without chasing agreement, and let the rest go. You hold the psychological matrix now. If you want to keep building your psychological armor and mastering the hidden laws of human behavior, protect your mind by hitting that subscribe button right now. Stay aware, stay safe, and never let them pull your strings.